Hey guys, D-Sol back in the Nerd Cave, and we're only a couple days away from Halloween 2021, and I just thought it'd be a good time to kind of show off my Halloween collection. So I have a bunch of masks, physical media, an action figure, and a poster. So I figured let's just kind of jump right into it. Okay, guys, so here's my Halloween poster. This is not an original. This is just a reprint of the original 78 film. But I have a couple of signatures here that I'm happy to have. It's kind of hard to see with the glare. We got John Carpenter, Nick Castle, got PJ Souls, Nancy Loomis, Sandy Johnston. So a couple of people, even, I forget his name. Is that Will Sandin? Michael Myers, age 6. So definitely glad to have that. I was at a Monster Mania convention, and a lot of them were there together. Was able to knock a lot of them out. I did not. I'm some things that I regret for some reason. The guy who played the sheriff, I'm forgetting his name, um, but he was there, and I don't know, for some reason, maybe I thought I spent too much that day. I decided not to get his signature, and I've pretty much regretted it ever since. Did the same exact thing with my Fright Night poster. Pretty much got everybody, but the one dude that lives with Jerry, forgetting his name off the top of my head too right now, but really annoyed about that. But hopefully he shows up at another convention. But here's my poster. And of course it'd be awesome to get Jamie Lee Curtis, but who knows when the next time she'll be at a convention. Okay, so now we'll just jump into some of my mask collection, starting off with the original from 78, the mask that I guess started it all, Michael Myers, age, I guess 6, right? And this is what he wore clearly in the beginning of the movie when he killed his sister. This is from Trick or Treat Studios. I actually have two of these. My son was little Michael Myers last Halloween, and of course I was adult Michael Myers, and he wore this. And I also had bought this at a convention as well for a pretty decent price. I'm hoping next time that actor who played young Michael Myers is around, I'll have him to sign it somewhere around here. But yep, this is my first one. Okay, so next one is signed by the man himself, um, John Carpenter. Now, this is the Halloween 2 mask, Trick or Treat Studios. This is before they had the rights, I think, to the 78 film, so they were releasing Part 2 masks. This is actually the first one I ever purchased. I do like this mask. The hair kind of goes a little crazy, to be honest, but other than that, I do enjoy this mask. It was between this, and I know they also sell one with the blood dripping down the eyes, but I do like this one. This is kind of like my substitute for having an H1 mask, but yep. That's my John Carpenter. I don't think I'm going to get anyone else to sign this. I like the fact that it's just him. Okay, now this is my Elrod Mask. This is the one that I chose to have whoever I can find who's played Michael Myers sign. I'm missing a bunch, but I do have a few here. I chose this mask for a couple reasons. One, I think this was back when Trick or Treat Studios did not have an H1 mask, and I had already had my other H1 mask signed by, I guess the H2 mask I just showed you, signed by Carpenter. So I wanted one specific to the actors, and I did like this one. Uh, I could have paid a lot more money and gotten an H1 replica, but I decided to go with this, and I'm fine with it. But a couple actors, of course, Nick Castle initially has signed it. I also have James Jude Courtney. If I can figure out Don Shanks from H5. George Wilbur is somewhere here. There you go, from Part 5. I like that he draws the Curse of Thorn symbol on that, which I think is pretty cool. Also have, I think this is a stunt person. What is his name? James. I'm looking it up actually right now. I should have had this. James Winburn. I also have Tommy Lee Wallace, who signs the neck. He had played, I think, in 78 as well as a stunt person. Am I missing anyone else? I think Tommy Moran, I think, or Tony Moran, as stunt person at each one as well. I know there's a little bit of controversy with him about a year or so ago, making some statements, I think, about conventions, but I had him sign that way well before that. And I think that's it so far. Um, I am missing a bunch that I do want to get. Clearly, the ones coming to mind, of course, Dick Warlock. I haven't seen him too much on the East Coast. I've seen him more like on the West Coast, and I unfortunately haven't gone to any conventions out there yet. A bunch of others, right? Whoever played, I think. I'm trying to remember some of the ones who've played, and I know George Wilbur also played in Curse of Michael Myers. But there's a couple other, I think, actors who've played in, H2O, Resurrection, things like that. So, I still have ways to go. I made a decision not to have Tyler Mane sign this. I mean, I really wanted to stick to the original. It's hard to say original timeline since it's all kind of messed up, but not the remakes. Again, they're all sort of remakes in some instance, but I just want to exclude the Rob Zombie one, at least for now. And maybe if I see him around, maybe I'll have him sign this, but kind of wanted to stick with from the H1 through Resurrection, and through the 18 remake and up. So, but yeah, I'm happy with it so far, and hope I do get some more actors to sign it. Okay, and here are my part 4 and part 5 masks. I think you can see a theme here where I think all of my masks are just from Trick or Treat Studios. I don't really want to spend a ton of money on you can spend a lot of money on replica masks, and I'm happy with essentially their quality. So we'll start with part 4. Part 4, I don't have anyone sign it. In fact, I've worn this before. I actually wore it to my company. My company had a costume contest couple years back, I think right before the pandemic, and I dressed up. I have my coveralls, and I dressed up like Michael Myers, and I used this mask, my go-to mask. You'll see shortly, but I chose this one because it has the black behind the eyes, so you couldn't really see me. I wanted to really. I didn't want anyone to know who I was. I was pretty creepy. Stood there with the butcher knife and the coveralls, and that didn't say a word. Freaked everyone out. My coworker, who was very pregnant at the time, screamed so loud, and all I can say to myself was, please, please, please don't go into labor. At the end of the day, I ended up winning the contest, got a free day off, which was nice, and revealed myself to everyone. So, yeah, so they were all kind of shocked. A couple of them, I think, were whispering that they think they knew who it was because they know I'm into horror and stuff. But, yeah, so this is my part 4 mask. Haven't signed it yet. Probably will. This fits a little tighter than the others. Not as comfortable as my go-to one that I'll show you in a minute. So I might get this one signed at the next convention, if I can. If I was a George, right? George Wilbur plays. No, who's in part 4? What am I forgetting? Right, it is George Wilbur and Tom Morga, I guess technically, but he really just wore it, I think, when his head was all bandaged up. I think he was fired from the film. I don't think there's really too many scenes with him in the mask, so I may not have him sign this unless they come out with a mask that's just the bandages. That'd be pretty cool. And next one up, of course, is my part 5, signed by Don Shanks. Did I say earlier that I'm mixing things up. I think I said earlier George Wilbur was in 5. Clearly he was in 4. Don Shanks in 5. Had him sign this at a convention. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to go to that convention, so I gave it to my brother-in-law, Jimmy, who was able to go and have it signed for me. I hate when I'm not there in person to have it done, but I didn't know when the next opportunity was, so I jumped on it. I do like this. Clearly, this is not the best mask in the series, but I think Trick or Treat Studios did a really good job at replicating this design. It just doesn't make sense to me. We all know the issues with this mask, but I think Trick or Treat Studios did a good job in kind of replicating the part 5 mask. So I do enjoy these. Okay, guys, so here I am. Hopefully you can hear me well. This is my go-to mask. This is the Curse of Michael Myers Part 6 mask from Trick or Treat Studios. This fits me the best. I can breathe pretty good in it, and this is my go-to Halloween mask on Halloween night. I wear it in front of my house with the coveralls, stand very still, holding the candy. I try to have at least 1 or 2 kids cry every year, and then I just throw a ton of candy at them. So my son loves this mask. I think like I said, I think it's probably one of their best masks that Trick or Treat Studios have done. Again, I hope you can hear me while I'm wearing this. This is one where this is the confusion before George Wilbur came back for part 6 as Michael Myers. So I'm not going to have him sign this. Like I said, this is my go-to. I might have to buy another one just to have him sign, but this is my go-to Halloween 6 mask. And last one up, guys. And again, hopefully you were able to hear me before with when I was wearing that mask. In case you couldn't, that was my part 6 mask. It's my go-to mask. It's the one that I wear pretty much every Halloween, and I'm never gonna get that signed. It fits really well. So I'm definitely not gonna get that signed. That's George Wilbur had played him in that one, and maybe I'll get another one just to have him signed. But anyway, the last one I have here is my 2018 Trick or Treat Studio mask. I know a lot of people, had some issues with it, but I think they did a really good job. I know some came out more yellow looking than others, but this one I think came from a good batch, I guess, because there's no issues with it. I do have it signed by Nick Castle, because I know he made a cameo in the mask in the movie, as well as James Jude Courtney. I guess that's James Jude Courtney, and there's Nick Castle. Yep. Here we go. In retrospect, I should have had him sign it with, I know they had, the bright orange. I kind of wish they used that, where it had one on one temple and one on the other, but I think when I gave it to James, he just kind of signed it right in the top. So that's okay. But I do enjoy this one. This one fits pretty well, too. It's a little tighter, maybe just because I had the part 6 worn in so well, but this is a pretty good mask. Now, I know they have another 2018 mask where it's there's the cut on the side, and then there's the new one for the 2021 film where there's burn marks. I'm probably not going to get those, but I will go ahead and probably pick up. I know there's a couple H2O masks out there, some resurrection masks, so I do want to pick those up, and eventually, if I can find the actors, get them signed as well. And how can I forget my butcher knife? This is the butcher knife that I use when I dress up as Michael Myers. This is a real cheapo kind of butcher knife with some fake blood and scratches on it. So, whatever. It's fake, couple bucks, but this is what I use. Okay, now getting into the physical media. Let's start off with some of the VHS tapes I have. We'll work backwards. I only have 3 on VHS. This one is still not really sealed. That's a lie. It's not sealed. And it's Halloween 5, Revenge of Michael Myers, CBS Fox release. For a second I thought it was sealed, but it's just open on the bottom here. Picked this up at a convention a couple years back for a few bucks, back when I wanted to collect all of the VHS tapes. I've kind of since decided, I don't know, listen, if I find them, I'll pick them up. I'm not jumping on eBay or anything like that. And I don't need to have the original. It was nice to find the CBS Fox one there for pretty cheap. But I don't need to get the original. And I know there was this whole thing where people were selling these for way, 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 way overpriced. And I don't really care about that. I don't need the original. For this one, for instance, Halloween 2. This is not the original. This is clearly, you can see here, MCA Universal logo on the corner. But listen, I love this movie. I like this image. I'm okay with having this later release. And I was going to go ahead and get all different versions of different releases, and then I kind of realized I don't really need to do that. I need to kind of slow down. And last one, of course, is the first Halloween. This is not the original release. I know that goes for a lot of money. This is a re-release from Anchor Bay from '99, and it's Halloween lenticular restored collector's edition. If you can see, this one is still sealed. Haven't opened it. No real reason to open it and watch that, but I do like the lenticular. Again, only a couple bucks. I always wanted to get that Blockbuster one, but I haven't really seen that around. Actually, when I have seen it, it's always been in rough shape. So, but happy. These are the 3 in my collection. And like I said, if I find 4 or 3 around for not that much money, I'll pick it up. Okay, and I actually only have one DVD, and part two has always been my favorite. I know people have some problems with part two, but I've always enjoyed part two. So my only DVD copy in the Halloween franchise is the original Halloween 2 widescreen edition. Remember when you had to choose between widescreen and full screen? Not too much with your special features, theatrical trailer, production notes, cast and filmmakers. That's really it. Oh, I always do that. These old DVD cases have these little clips, which are pretty annoying. And I'm going through a little bit of a purge right now, and I'm looking to probably sell, I think, some stuff or whatever, and I think that unfortunately might have to make the cut. I'm back and forth on it since it is my favorite one. Probably really get much for it anyway, but at the end of the day, it's space. With all this stuff that you got, you know what I mean? You need to get space, and I feel like that's more valuable at the end of the day than some of these. So I don't know. I may have to part with some of these things that I'm showing you today, unfortunately. Okay, so now we're gonna dive into Blu-rays. First one up is Halloween 35th Anniversary Edition. This is not the Digibook. This is not the Steelbook. This is just the regular Blu-rays. I did not have a lot of these films, to be honest with you, a couple years ago. So I just went on and was able to buy a bunch of them for a decent price. For some reason, some of these are going for way more than they were a couple years ago. I don't know why. The special features. This comes with a little booklet, which is pretty cool. Again, this is probably one that is going to have to go, just because I have so many copies of Halloween. Like, how many copies do you really need? I'll leave a link in the description below to a recent Halloween video I did, showing the unboxing of Halloween, the Halloween 4K, where I kind of go into the same little bit of a rant. Next one up, I did have Halloween 2, but it was technically my brother-in-law's, and I was looking to sell it, and I figured, let me just give it back to him. It's his. And I never realized in the special features, at first he didn't care, but then I realized in the special features it had, what was that movie? Terror in the Aisles, like the entire Terror in the Aisles movie as a special feature, which I ended up buying separately somewhere up there with all my Scream Factories. I know he didn't have it, so I was like, dude, Jim, just take this back. It has a whole other movie in there. So I do not have that here with me now, so we'll just jump to Halloween 3. And again, this is just like the bare bones kind of Blu-ray release. I just didn't have it in my collection at the time. Scratch that, I did. I think I had the Steelbook, but I wanted them to look good on the shelves, and I wanted the actual Blu-ray next to the other Blu-rays. I know that's what happens sometimes, right? In this hobby, it's really annoying, but no special features or anything like that, but, I'm probably getting rid of this one as well. Next one up, and these are ones for some reason I see online they're going for a decent amount, and I don't get it. But I just threw them on there to, online to sell. But first one up is Halloween 4, Return of Michael Myers. Again, just pretty much a basic release. Anchor Bay, maybe that's why it's going for a little bit of money. Anchor Bay, and it's got some special features here. I think some that may not be on the 4Ks. Maybe that's why it's going for a little bit of money. And Halloween 5. Same type of release. Special features. Again, maybe there's some that we're missing from the 4Ks. Or maybe just because it's Anchor Bay. Next one up is something that Jimmy hates that I have this. I don't remember the story of how I found this. It is sealed, so I will just take it out of... Well, not sealed. It's in one of these protected things. And it's Halloween, Curse of Michael Myers in a VHS slip. I don't know where I found it, but I found it somewhere. So I think these might be hard to find. And it's got the here on the spine, which is pretty cool. And in the back, and it did actually include a digital copy. Not a lot of these do. And then you've all seen how it looks inside, right? Just a Halloween Curse of Michael Myers unrated producer's cut. And yeah, it's just... And the digital copy, which I've already used. So yeah, that's... Don't really... Like I said, I think I found this at a random Walmart or Target years ago. And I think since then it's kind of hard to find. I will not be getting rid of that one. I'm keeping that. And next one up is a triple feature, and I'm kind of annoyed because I got this when it first came out, and I think a year or two later they came out again with the digital copy for like the same price, so it's kind of annoying. But here you have H2O, Halloween Curse of Michael Myers, the theatrical edition, not the producer's cut like the other one I have, and Halloween Resurrection. Just a triple pack, and look at this disc art. Wow. I mean, that is something else. And last for my Blu-rays, and it's the Rob Zombie double feature, Halloween and Halloween 2 theatrical cut. Yeah, I know there's other versions out there. I just wanted to own it just to own it. You know, I don't hate these movies like many others do. I do enjoy actually the first Halloween. Halloween 2 is kind of nuts. I've learned to appreciate it a little bit more. Last year, I think I watched it again. It wasn't terrible. This also, I hate these old Blu-rays that have, it's like open it from this. Wow, I can't figure this out. There you go. You have to open it from the side. Did I just break it? And again, just double feature. And for some reason, it has, what's the difference? Blu-ray. Oh, maybe this is a Canadian version. Could be. Who knows? And those are my Blu-rays, and we'll jump in quickly to Steelbooks. Steelbook Blu-rays. First one up is Scream Factory edition, Steelbook Halloween 2. Love this artwork. This pretty much got me into collecting their Steelbooks when I saw this one, and now I have the entire collection so far to date of Scream Factory Steelbooks. And, of course, Halloween 3, Season of the Witch. Have it signed, of course, by Stacy Nelk. I forget her name, but she's in Halloween 3. And of course, the great Tom Atkins, have him sign this as well. Just got that recently signed over the summer. Throw these here. And now diving into the 4K. First one up, again, is another Halloween. John Carpenter's original 1978 Halloween. This is the original 4K that came out. I didn't get the first 4K. I waited for the Steelbook version from Best Buy, the Lionsgate release. Do really like this Steelbook. Here we go. I know some people don't, but I really do like it. I will keep this, even though now I have another 4K version. Again, I'll leave a link in the description below to the video I did with all my H1 copies that I have. And now, of course, we have the Scream Factory 4Ks of everything, so I won't really go into it. Some of them aren't opened yet. But again, the first Halloween Collector's Edition. I do really like these releases. Halloween 2, not opened yet. In fact, the only one that was opened is the first one. Halloween 3, Season of the Witch. Of course, Halloween 4, Return to Michael Myers. And essentially, this is why I'm kind of getting rid of the other editions. These contain Blu-rays. These contain most of the other special features. So I don't really need doubles and triples of everything. I mean, I used to, but I can't do it anymore. And there's part 5. Not sure if they'll ever come out with 6, 7, 8, you know, all those Scream Factory. Maybe they will. I know they used to have the rights to them. But for some reason, I guess they don't anymore, unless they are looking to come up with those later or next Halloween. Who knows? And finally, one action figure. I have this signed by John Carpenter. Pull this back here a little bit, and it's my Mcfarland movie Maniacs Halloween figure, which I got back when it was first released. I want to say it was the late 90s. Really like this figure. I have a couple of these. I have a bunch of them up my wall. Some of them signed as well. Friday the 13th. Nightmare on Elm Street, Texas Chainsaw, Child Play 2, Psycho, Army of Darkness, which I have signed by Bruce Campbell, The Crow, Scream. I was going to get the Scream ones. Yeah, let me see if I can show you. There they are. They're all the way up there. Sorry for the glare. Yeah, but a little dusty there. But yeah, I had this signed. I really enjoyed this line. A couple of them I was missing, but you know, that's okay. What year did this come out? Does it say? 1999. Yep, 99. So 21 years old. 22 years old. Yeah, it's a long time. It's crazy. All right, guys, so here's my Halloween collection, my masks, my physical media, my mask. I said that twice. And my figure. Let me know in the comments below, what do you have in your collection? I'm sure mine isn't the biggest collection. There are those out there that have way more. Like I said, I want to collect more masks if I can. I'm trying to get rid of some of the physical media that I don't need. Let me know in the comments below. Do you have the same problem I do? Are you still collecting? Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Happy Halloween. It's coming up this weekend. Can't wait. And until next time, see you guys in the Nerd Cave.